To be frank, I think zim-zalabim is what K-pop is missing today. There's a lot that goes into my ideas about this, including the history of the song itself, which was held by SM Entertainment for quite a while until one of their artists, I think it was always preferably Red Velvet, would be able to take on the challenge. And a challenge it was. The structure of this song is crazy. I can count around 13 distinct sections.
Are you ready for this? Zim-zalabim, 지치지 마. 내 못난 위로 걱정은 모두 던져. Zim-zalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zim. 너무 깜짝 놀랐지만 그게 바로 너야. 틀에 박힌 세상 속에서 길들여진 너 매일 마냥 덤덤. Girls, you ready? Oh yeah. 난 새로운 목소리로. Zim-zalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zim.
Literally a roller coaster ride in every sense. There are sudden drops, then delayed drops. The song operates on the same ride track, but is altered to be delivered at different altitudes, different falls and curve points on the ride. And that is exactly it. Zim-zalabim divides itself into a long chain of sections that constantly rearranges our sense of location. The instrumental foundation somehow persists. It carries through so reliably, despite the chaos of an always changing sense of frame. Synth figures coil and release at such unexpected moments. Percussion advances and then recedes. Vocal delivery slides between borderline demonic chants and sweet melodies. These great divides and drops define how this ride functions. When the bass first enters the pre-chorus, it produces a growing sense of pressure. Low frequencies expand through the mix and then give way, creating the experience of being suspended in air from plummeting down a roller coaster slope, followed by the sudden force of gravity as the ride levels out. No part of the song represents the roller coaster comparison better than the drops and the chorus. You know I love a delayed drop, and what I love even more than a delayed drop is a thematically delayed drop. The first chorus of this song descends immediately, but the second chorus extends the approach. The demonic chant surfaces before the weight of the bass arrives this time. Space suddenly opens where the first chorus's impact was anticipated. When the drop finally hits, the delay converts it into a structural moment. Timing becomes such an audible design feature in this song.
Zim-zalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zim. Zim-zalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zimzalabim, zim-zim.
This manipulation of time supports the song's meaning, largely about desire embedded deep within the self. Quote, zim-zalabim is a self-sustaining spell being cast upon the self. Its recurrence is often the only thing driving the chorus forward. The production frames aspiration as something that must be activated, or channeled, like a spell, right? The music video extends this framework outward. The CGI scale alone communicates investment. This release clearly occupied a position of great importance within SM Entertainment's output at the time. Zim-zalabim's lineage traces back to I Got a Boy by SNSD. We know that song was a reference point here, which is also a song that established Fracture as a language within the company's catalog. As divisive as I Got a Boy often was, SM Entertainment clearly revered what it did for the group and company artistically. Zim-zalabim, in a very similar way, advances that language through Red Velvet. Styling participates in the same kind of architecture too, the outfits, which are still so widely contested today. They were certainly bizarre, but bizarre enough to match the theme of the song itself, right? Casting a spell to make your dreams come true. Odd shapes and textures really disrupt expectations here. The members move as components themselves inside the spell the song is casting. It made a lot of people confused and mad, but again, I think that's very much what they were setting out to do. This in itself was kind of necessary for SM to be able to show just how much they care about pushing the limits. The zim-zalabim concept wasn't confined to just crazy sets on a music video or an experimental song. It impacted every aspect of this group in the moment they took its concept on. In the end, zim-zalabim makes you feel something, and whether that was, I guess, dumbfounded appreciation or outright frustration, I think that was always the motive from an artist's perspective. Within Red Velvet's discography, zim-zalabim works as a central hinge in a much larger mechanism. The opening day of the Reva Festival revolved around the tension this track introduced. The group sustained allegiance to it, and with time, the song works in retrospect to represent such an admirable artistic resolve. It's also important to remember that the Korean release before this song was Really Bad Boy, so people were already mad. Not everyone, but some audiences were maybe more eager to sink their teeth into another Velvet song, and zim-zalabim was certainly nothing of the sort. But if you're a real Revelove, you know that on the same album was Sunny Side Up, genuinely one of the best K-pop songs of all time. But this remains zim-zalabim's effectiveness, and kind of what K-pop has come to miss in recent times. This song embodies a culture of music production that preserved songs capable of truly pushing the limits, and releasing them when an artist could carry that kind of strain. Given SM's history, I think they were very well aware that this wouldn't be widely received, which feels so incredibly important even today. That dedication helped define K-pop's foundation at large. But yeah, this is why zim-zalabim sounds like that, packed full of my understanding of why I think it's effective in retrospect. Thank you for watching this. If you did, let me know what you think about zim-zalabim. Have your thoughts changed on it over time? What was your initial reaction if you remember it and were there for the release, and things like that. Yes, thanks again for watching. Subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time.